Good morning, everyone. Hello, happy Wednesday. Coach Dibbs throwing up the friendship. Love it, love it, love it. Hello, 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 Miss Cindy Ray with the pops. I love it. Hello. Good morning, good morning, good morning. It is Wednesday, virtual breakfast. I love it. All right, so kids, as you can see, we have a computer switch. I look like I'm Barry Sayowitz. Not a bad look for Barry Sayowitz, I have to say. And then Peachy, I call my husband Peachy. Barry Sayowitz is Amy Cole. So it's all good in the hood. But we're going to do some things today, and I'm going to have you ask me specific questions. So I'm going to have you throw it into Barry Sayowitz. But for those of you that do not know Amy Cole, I am Amy Cole, not Barry Sayowitz. Thank you, Barry. I am Amy Cole Connect. We are an executive search firm. We are career coaches and speakers. And I know many of these faces, and I really appreciate all of you, as you do know. But for those of you that don't know me, I am 20 years recruiting. Executive search is what our company does, but what we really are staffing experts in helping companies build out their teams for longevity. And you'll get to know me a great deal and know that I am not one of those people that wants just to throw you at a job. This is not a Band-Aid situation in life. The bottom line is that we get the job that you get excited about and that you feel that your purpose is being fulfilled. It is really one of the things that I stand by, and I believe that's the success I have after 20 years, is that I just trust my gut. Guys, you guys know me. I'm trusting my gut. I believe in what my gifts are, and I am moving forward in them. And that is where we all get to sing and feel this great sense of joy and peace. And today we're going to talk a little bit about that also. But for you that are just coming, okay, because if there's some new faces, and I see a few new faces, this is for all of us. This particular weekly setup is for all of us. Please, please reach out to each other. We need each other right now. No matter what the industry you and I are in right now, we need the encouragement. We need the market intel. It always helps to chat the chat and keep up with other people. We have great networking going on in this group. I love the emails I get. Oh, Amy, I reached out to her. She's adorable. I know, isn't she adorable? I've known her for years. You know, this is a family. This is our family. This is your industry association breakfast. This is where you get to show up and either bring, you know, people to the table. What do I say to the table? How do I say that? Peachy, I just want to say in the waiting room, we've got 14, so I'll admit all of them. Okay. So, in other words, this is really the place where you do get to, good morning, everybody. Hello, welcome, come on in, thank you. We get to say, I need your help. I'm raw. I'm in trouble. I'm doing great. Whatever it is you get to say and share, we want to hear it. It is contagious when we share this information. So it's empowerment, accountability. We are resources for each other. The other thing I really do believe, and I know you hear this, is that we are stronger together. Good morning, Mom. We are stronger together. This is where it is at. I need you beyond you needing me. Let me tell you right now, I get nervous every time. I put the lips on shaking, and I don't know why. And then I get here and I just realize that flush of, I've got this, I can be helpful. So I want to be that for you, and I hope I can. So, but why virtual breakfast? Let's talk a little bit about this. You know what? It is a new paradigm. Good morning, Wendy. Good morning, Elena. Good morning, Winsome. It is a new paradigm out there. And I'm going to share some Cuomo intel, which is kind of a funny thing, but we'll get to that in a second. We need to be ready in this market. We are all doing backflips, and in a fun way. The more we embrace it, which is also what I think is really fantastic about who we are together on this call, is we're embracing the newness. We're trying these new things. I used, for example, digital. I know you guys have probably, thank you, Cindy, embrace change. You guys are all probably aware, and you know me, I can go off on tangents, of a software where you can do dictation, right? Raise the hands. Yes, of course, ding-a-ling. But who uses it? Raise the hands. When do you use it? That's the only hand that's going to go up. Who uses dictation? Jim Chi, of course. Jim Chi uses dictation. Okay, so Amy Cole in a pickle. The world has told me use dictation, that you're verbally a stronger communicator. When I write, I really labor over it. Well, didn't I decide to finally give it a shot? I said, Okay, it's not perfect. You have to say the word period. You've got to say the word comma, things like that. It's a little odd to talk in that way. But then it's on a piece of paper and I can organize my thoughts. Technology, we've had it for a long time. Why am I embracing it today? Because I am now doing so many more things to build my business than I did a year ago. We now need to have more revenue streams, more connective tissue streams, more networking streams than ever. We've got texts coming in, LinkedIn things coming in. You've got your basic email coming in, right? You have someone writing to you on Facebook. You're not sure how you know them, but because you're connected to 13 people, you should say yes, but you know, it is mind boggling is the word. But we don't have to be mind boggled if we just take a minute and I'm going to fail fast. If this dictation thing is crap, I'll find out. I'll move on. But if I also find out through the learning curve it's a huge time saver, then I've just embraced something that's always been there. But this digital disruption, this COVID-19 situation, this work from home, this all of us having to try to figure something new out has put us in a place, you know, necessity is the mother of invention, where we've got to embrace the technology that's already there. And guys, people are hiring technologically savvy people. I say it time and time and time again. Banker, lawyer, Indian chief, logistics supply chain, designer, technology. We're there. We're not going there, we're there. It's past tense. So those are little examples of what I'm trying to take on, but that's why we're here in Virtual Breakfast, because it is a new work paradigm. And if we can educate each other on little nuances and say, you've got this, then we're all winners. And that feels good. And I always say that the market's opening and I want you to be ready to be ready. If you are not working right now, or if you're looking for some type of advancement in your career, this is also the place to do that. And I can't offer tons of, you know, coaching and all that stuff in this hour, but I want you to know that we will offer you an opportunity to work more deeply with Amy Cole Connect, and we'll share that a little bit later. There is a lot of exciting things going on. You know that it's Thanksgiving. I am the biggest gratitude girl you'll ever meet. I just so adore life. Happy Thanksgiving. I feel blessed in everything that I have, from fingernails to toenails. And I want to talk a little bit about that gratitude today. Okay, it's the timing to talk about gratitude. And before I get into it, I just want to quickly review, because this is a nugget that I try to give every single week so that none of you lose this nugget. Amy Cole Connect, in the career coaching mode, talks about the 5 P's of getting your professional edge on. And I'm going to be quick because you've heard them. Number 1 is your purpose, but there are 5 P's to getting your professional edge on. And these P's make you that holistic candidate that's going to outsurpass or stand above, head and shoulders over another man or woman for that role. Purpose-driven people are contagious. Purpose is your number 1. What is it in your gut? And I love Samantha, she's nodding. She knows that inner self feeling. Sometimes it comes from wisdom. I'm double nickels. Okay, that means 55. I'm learning. I learned. I should be there. You know, I'm richer now for knowing that that's my gift, that the people piece is my gift, and that I can play with that and believe in it, trusting my gut. That's my purpose. I've always been that people person. Your branding. Everybody's working with brands today. You are a person, you're a human brand. Your service has a brand if you're a small business on the call. So what is a brand? It's how you deliver your skills and expertise. It's the secret sauce. It's the purpose-driven, right? And people that marry their business expertise with a branding, with a way that they do their work, with purpose and intent, tend to escalate because it's contagious, because you believe in who you are being who you should be, and you got it. It comes naturally to you to do the job that you have with that type of motivation, maybe methodology, maybe empowerment, maybe piss and vinegar, maybe humor, whatever that brand is, it's you, and you have to know it to show it and to grow it, but it's the DNA of who you are. You cannot walk away from it. You can't unzip your purpose. It's in you. It's you. So, and that purpose comes out in that brand. Your profile is number 3. That's your LinkedIn and your resume. And we bet your bippy, if that resume and LinkedIn doesn't sing, who you are, and what you can offer, I'm looking at someone else's LinkedIn. Okay? I'm a recruiter. I'm hardcore. I don't futz. I tell it like it is. Why? So that you don't futz. I want you to think like a recruiter. Is this woman reading my thing? Is this woman reading my profile? Is this company interested in me? Do I sound a little bit like a ding-a-ling? Is it too basic? Is it two marbles in your mouth? I'm trying to be too fancy, right? We talked about LinkedIn the other day, okay? Number 4 is your partnerships. It's everybody on the Hollywood squares are your partners. Who in your world is a complement and not a competitor that you can share market intel, become more knowledgeable about where you need to go, where opportunities are, and find out the hidden market. The hidden job market is a huge topic right now. What is the hidden job market? I'll give you a 1-2. It is those companies that just acquired a new brand. Okay? They may or may not need you. Okay, you don't know. But if you see a new company that acquired a brand or a new company that sold something, they could be hiring. Hidden market. They don't have it out there yet. The hidden market is your old boss calling. We've got a few of those people on the call, which is really exciting. I know you, I trust you, I like you. I'm at a new company. We're not hiring this minute, but we're thinking about building out this department. Would you be willing to talk in a week or two? Hidden market. How do you keep up with your hidden market? Blow it up, people. Network, right? Network. And then number 5 is your positioning. Positioning. Where are you putting your partnerships? Where are you building your credibility out? What groups, what Facebook groups, what industry association Zooms are you coming on, spreading the love and being a part of? And are you acting? Are you being participatory? You don't build relationships without engaging. Nobody builds relationships by sitting back, right? And it's fun to build. It is really fun to build. So welcome, Steve I. We love having you. Whatever time we get you, we love you. So here's the story on the gratitude of today. You've got your 5 Ps. We've got to be grateful that we can even work out those 5 Ps if we're not close to understanding them yet. That's fine. You're in a place where you get to open your heart to new and figure that piece out for yourself to be more competitive in the marketplace, right? Why does Amy Cole get so excited about gratitude? It's just so, it just brings joy. You know, and it is the time for gratitude. It certainly is a different time for gratitude this year that we're not getting, setting ourselves up in big groups. But, we're in a place to be thankful. Look at us. We're here. We all look amazing. We look gorgeous. The lights are on. The house is going. The plants are growing, right? So why not be grateful for the plants that are growing? I see plants in a lot of rooms. I love it. This is life. We are grateful for the things that we have right now. Of course, my business is this much compared to what it was last year. I'm grateful that I have a chance to be challenged and try new things, to open up my mind to new things, to continue. So, it is with grateful energy, encouragement, and love and support from every single person that's near to us, right? We have to be thankful for the girl or guy that called us up and called us out on not doing so well also. Like, you seem a little bit like just hanging out at home. I mean, of course, we're all hanging out at home, but let's get you out and walking. So yes, it is true, Sue. Thank you. Yes, gratitude brings that joy, and it unveils a place for us to keep ourselves open for the possibilities that are coming. All right. As I said last week, man's rejection is God's protection. Okay, the guy didn't call you back. He was a ding-a-ling. Don't worry, there's a better guy out there. Right? There's a better job out there. And that I want to be thankful when we're rejected. When we fail fast, we learn persistence and we learn to persevere and we learn to accept a challenge and learn from it. Those that aren't learning right now from a challenge, from what's going on right now, are going to be left behind. This is an exciting time to be a part of so that we can tell our story. You know what I ended up doing? I had to pivot. So 180 degrees, new job. Crazy. And now I love it. It sparks that new energy. So that's a very good place for us to all live. You know what I mean? And we need to take full advantage of the small things that happen to understand the big things. So here's a quickie, and I think I may have shared this before, but it was about 3 winters ago and I was bummed out. I couldn't ride my bike. I ride my bike everywhere, and it was really cold and it was snowy. So I was on the subway and I'm like, oh, this whole week I've got to take the subway. And I challenged myself to be grateful. I said, Aim, when you're on this subway, first of all, my mother had visited probably 2 months earlier, and we did take the subway up to the Met or something. I think it was the Met. And she said, I love the subway. There's so, you have, it's so diverse here. She lives on Cape Cod. It's pretty white bread, Wonder Bread on Cape Cod. And I said, I know, isn't that awesome, Mom? It's so much fun. This is a place, this is, when they say melting pot, they mean it. And I challenged myself for the 5 days on the subway of that week to see the divinity in every face in that subway. Child, man, woman, homeless, happy, sad. And thank the Lord for every single person, because that girl guy is as special as you. We are chosen. We are special. And that's also the other thing that just brings you such joy, like to look at everybody and say, oh my gosh, Nancy Curtin is special. Hillary Lambert is special. Denise Tarrant these are God's people. We are so special. And when you take the time to be grateful and look in someone's eyes or look at them and towards them and say, I know there's something about you. I don't know, but I know that you're special. I want to see the divinity in each person. I just felt so elated that week. I can't even tell you. Then it started to become like I couldn't wait. It was mind-boggling. It was so beautiful to be grateful, to be on that subway, which I hated, but I didn't hate it the minute I took it into a place of looking at every person who's special. Anyway, you know how I get happy gratitude. Thank you for you. Wow, I really need to say grateful for you, for this, for everything and the support you've had and for joining and being a part. And happy turkey. We will not meet next Wednesday. I'm going to take a breather, but you enjoy the turkey, whether it's a big or small celebration, whatever it is. It may even be a chicken leg. Who the heck knows what's going to happen this week, right? But so we also eat pizza. I love it. I want to introduce Nancy Curtin, who's going to come on in 1 second. And I want to talk to you because gratitude rolls right into money. And money matters is the topic this week. Last week, we talked about the 3 strategies of getting your professional edge on. And we talked about using your LinkedIn and all different ways to network. This week, we're hitting now different strides, right? We're almost 9-10 months into this thing. And for those of you that possibly may not have been working, financial things have changed and shifted. But what Nancy, and I'm going to introduce her formally in a minute, what I love about the way Nancy philosophizes about money is be grateful for what you have and make what you have work for you. You don't have to make millions. If you make hundreds or millions, or you don't make any, or you make a lot, it's a philosophy of money. Money is not the security of all of us, guys. Your job is not your security. It's not your identity. Your identity is who you are as a human being, as a person on this earth, marrying into the cloth that we weave here in this world. How you empower your niece and nephew, how you love your friends, how you share your money maybe. But that's why I love Nancy. I've known her for over 20 years. And when she taught me about how to understand the philosophy of money more, that it is a means to just a complement to my life. It is not what I stand for. It's not my identity, that number in that bank. And that during this time, she's going to try to help us feel a bit more secure about how we can address it, even though things seem challenging for us. So Nancy is a certified public accountant. I'm going to, no, that's not true. I'm just going to yell at me. She's going to yell at me. Yeah, hold on, unmute.
Introduce myself. I'm Nancy Curtin. And hold on 1 second. You unmuted me. Thank you. I'm a certified financial planner and money manager. I currently, I practiced in New York with the firm I'm still with now for over 10 years. I now live in Delray Beach, Florida with my husband. And we opened the office here and have not been able to get back to New York. Wanted to, but couldn't. So here I am today. And I'd like to really kind of help you as much as I can, answer any questions that you have. I do have a particular philosophy about money, and I think a lot of us have mixed relationships with money, depending on the kind of home we grew up in. And it's not that money, it's not money itself, it's the emotions around it that can keep us from kind of growing or being scared about it, things like that. And this is one of the things that I really try to help people with. And one of the things that Amy was talking about is gratitude. And I always say, be grateful for what you have while you work for more. So, looking at what you, and part of that gratitude is taking a good, hard look at what you really have. So some of the basics that I'm just going to start with, and I know we have a nice mixed crew, maybe all of you are at different stages in your life as far as your money goes, but I will try to address any questions and answer them for you if I can. Hopefully I can help you. But one of the things I do want to recommend to everybody is that everybody here should have a savings and spending plan. A lot of people use the word budget, and you hear the word budget and it's like, budget, what is that? It freaks people out because we don't really understand what a budget is. Isn't that something like a controller does or a CFO does? So what I do is I turn it into something called a savings and spending plan, which all of you have, you just don't know it. And it's maybe loose but there are certain things you spend on and certain things that maybe you're saving. So if you can tighten that up by making it a little bit more formal, maybe using, a piece of software, an app on your phone to try to track what you're paying yourself, which is basically saving, and what you're spending. So that'll give you a little bit more control over that. So that when something like this happens, this pandemic where some of us couldn't work or we lost our jobs, in order not to go into debt, you have to have had some kind of cash savings. So if that didn't happen this time around, we can maybe change the course of that, help you change the course of that. So if something like this occurs again, or you lose a job, you will have some resources to draw on until you can get, going again in your career. So that's kind of a basic thing. There's all kinds of topics I can talk to you about, from estate planning to tax planning. But I just thought some of the basics here might be much more helpful to you. So,
Nancy, I'm going to ask you a question. And this is important, the basics. If we don't have, let's say income coming in right now, or we're using what we have that is in a savings situation, what are some of the methodologies people are thinking about today? Or you've always said, don't run to sell, things like that. There are implications, and I'd love to, may I ask you that?
Sure. So here's the kind of thinking that I try to implement in my own life and in the lives of my clients. And it's called be your own banker. What does that mean? All that means is instead of borrowing from a credit card, or which is basically, it could be a bank, it could be some other institution, or borrowing money to live on because I need to pay rent, I need to pay mortgage. You would borrow it from yourself. So how do we get to that point? We get to that point by living beneath our means. What does that mean? Well, if I want to save 10% of my income, I need to live 10% beneath my means. So I'm saving 10% of my income. The 90% I'm using for my life, to food and things that I need. But that 10%, I call that paying yourself. So if you can begin to implement that and kind of just get that thinking into your mind, where this time around, I'm going to make a commitment that I'm not going to spend everything I have. I'm going to start looking at my money, looking at my expenses, tracking it, and paying myself, so that I have a cash savings that I can draw upon to borrow from myself. And by the way, when you borrow this money from yourself, you owe it to yourself interest-free, but it's incumbent upon you to pay yourself back. So that's the kind of thinking I'm trying to instill here to not have a debtor's mentality, but to have more of a, you know, I'm good for a while. If I lost my job for 6 months or 9 months, I could survive. I'll cut back greatly, but I could survive without debting and owing any money.
You know, I remember and Nancy and I met at church many years ago, and we've always had that same philosophy that God's got the bigger plan and to trust. And that trust does come. Some people put all their trust in money, and that's not a fair place to put it all. But Nancy taught me, and I remember you saying, and it was just kind of an off the cuff at a brunch, you know, $10 a week works, Amy. And I'm like, okay, Nancy, like, you know, because I have thought that if I can't throw $1,500, $2,500 a month in some fund, then I'm not doing well. And you know, you were being sassy in yourself, your personality. You said it's the start, it's the discipline. And I remember that built into couple hundred. And, you know, even in tough times, listen, I'm an entrepreneur, guys. And I want you to know that. Amy Cole has plenty of months that there's something not coming in. Mm-hmm. But by somehow finding that still at the point, you know, it's let's use just, you know, still putting that $250, $1,200, $2,500 a month somewhere, all of a sudden you get to the end of the year and you sit with somebody, your financial planner like Nancy, and she says, you know, Amy, you've got $30,000 in cash. You know, we should be putting that to work for us. And I was like, we do? Because it becomes like going to CVS and grabbing Q-tips every month. You know, it's just, I always get my mascara. I always get my Q-tips. Well, then always throw $10 in the bank, you know, paying yourself. I think that's kind of a clever way to look at it. I hadn't heard that one, and I appreciate that. Guys, I want to open up the chat to have you write some questions. If they're sensitive questions, you can address them to Amy. I am Amy, so it doesn't have to go to everyone. I don't mind that. Well, and put some questions in there. And also, you know, but to everyone, put maybe where you are in your stage in your career. Are we pre-retirement? Are we looking towards retirement? Let's, you know, is it a place where we've got 10 more years to work, 20 more years, or we don't know what to think about right now in this time? That's an honest answer also.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Because until you take a look at where you are, and I mean, we got to face ourselves. I face myself and look at really what maybe some of my own deficiencies, you know, where I could be doing better. And then make some moves to correct it. So hopefully that can happen today. And as Amy mentioned, it kind of think of it as a muscle. It's just a muscle. You know, you might be weak at first when you're putting that money away for yourself, but as you do it consistently, that muscle gets stronger, especially when you start to see a growing balance in a savings or investment account. It can be quite satisfying.
Well, I think that is such a great way to look at it. It's a muscle that we all find jobs. It's a muscle that we network. It's a muscle that we build gratitude. There's journals on how do you wake up in the morning and do the 10 steps of gratitude. How does that flip your emotion after a while? That, you know, that 30-day, 90-day challenge becomes an actual innate after a while and natural. Okay. So I have a couple of questions. First of all, yeah, Nancy, thank you so much for joining us. We had to thank you. But also, when a 1099, I'm a health and wellness coach, is it smart to set up a SEP account? Well, and why don't you share the difference between a SEP and an IRA for those that don't know?
Yeah, so a SEP is for, I mean, basically for somebody who has a small business, and there can be lots of uses for it. It really depends on how much you can put away. So your IRA has a limit. The SEP has much higher limits. So that's something to discuss with your accountant. If it makes sense that you could put away a larger amount of money, then a SEP might be the way for you to go.
Okay. And what about the differences of the money interest-free and not interest-free, the Roth IRA versus the IRA?
Well, I mean, you know, there are income limits on Roths.
Right.
So you can only make, you know, it's phased out after you make a certain amount of money. So, you know, does a Roth make sense? The good thing about the Roth is those contributions and earnings grow tax-free as long as you wait till you're 59 and a half to take it out. So, and you have to have there are some other rules around Roth too. You have to have the account open for 5 years, etc. Very specific rules. But you are phased out in your income with a Roth. at a certain point in your life. So again, it's income driven.
Okay, fair enough. And so Barry's asking, do you think Social Security is safe? Not that this is the crystal ball, right? We're putting Nancy Curtin on the spot. Is Social Security safe?
I don't know. I'm hoping so.
Yeah.
I mean, Social Security, it's a kind of a tricky subject because it's so important to so many Americans, as either a source of their main source of income or a very large supplement to their retirement years. So I do some seminars on Social Security planning. I'm actually putting one together now for probably early spring, and I'll invite whoever would like to attend. But properly planning your Social Security is very important. We do hope that Social Security will be there in its fullest and not really cut back. But one of the things I'd like to bring up here is I would encourage everybody here not to depend on Social Security as your main source in your retirement. You should be counting on money that you've put away over the years consistently throughout your working years. And Social Security should be viewed as a supplement, and hopefully it will be there depending on the contributions from the workforce, governmental issues and things like that. So that's kind of what my advice would be, is I wouldn't put all my eggs in any one basket.
Okay. Now, this is a good one, and Patrick Jackman, thank you. What online budgeting or savings or spending apps are you, Miss Technology? I know you are just into all of it, but
yeah.
So apps or tools do you recommend? I currently use the Dave Ramsey model, but I've heard of others like Mint.
Yeah. So if you're really more of an app phone person, Mint is really good. It downloads all your bank information. It downloads your credit card, your debit cards, and you can do a little bit of budgeting on it. If you're a little more, I'm going to say if you're a little more disciplined, I would recommend Quicken, because the reporting, the budgeting, the tools, etc. If you really want to get a good handle on your financial life. And one recommendation I make to several people and clients is do it once a week, because once you set it up and you do the downloads and it's categorized and you can check it and check your reports, you really have a good handle on your money. Because at all times you should know how much you make, how much you owe if you owe money and are working on a debt reduction plan, what your assets are. So you should know your personal balance sheet right in pretty much in your head. You should know what you have, you should know what you own, especially as a business owner. So it's super important that you know how much my business owes, how much my business is about to take in, what's our cash reserves. It's the same for your personal life.
It actually is fun. I took time, my accountant and I obviously have QuickBooks for my business. And then I did, I don't currently do it, but so I'm lying a little bit, but when I did it, I loved it. It was Mint. I think it was Mint, or it was Intuit. It was another one of Intuit's products. Is Mint an Intuit product?
I'm not sure.
Okay. Anyway.
Quicken was, I think they sold it. Yeah.
So it gave me the graph. Okay, this is scary. Everything I spent New York City single Sally was entertainment, food in New York. That was my biggest. And does that not make you think, guys, this is, of course, when you go out and $21 Cosmos in New York City, sorry, that's ridiculous. You can own a bottle of vodka for $21, not that you're drinking it. But seriously, it made me start to, when I looked at it, and we did it quarterly, when we would do my business, he would help me go through my personal. I know why I stopped doing it, because I was spending time and money on him to show me more, and I should have just gotten into it myself. But when I saw that and he put it in a graph form, see, Nancy, people are learners in different ways. They either like to read, they like bullets, or they like color, or they like, infographics. And the graphs really woke me up. I'm like, because I'm meeting my friends every day after work for a cocktail, or I'm sounding like a go out girl, but I lived alone. I wanted to be
of course.
Yeah.
And Quicken is good for that because they have a lot of graphing. You could do some different reporting and things like that. However, your mind adapts to knowledge is how it should work. And again, as Amy pointed out, she was self-monitoring. So she looked at what she was spending on her entertainment line, and there's no judgment here. Just leave the judgment at the door. It's, you know, leave the past at the door too. Don't dwell on that. Just take a look. I would recommend you take a look at your spending on a line by line item, and you decide. It's your money, you decide. So do I want to go out for a lunch? Do I want to put money here? Or would I like to put another chunk of money into my cash account so that if something happened to me, I have a little bit of a reserve?
Yeah.
Those are questions that you, as you grow financially, will be able to ask yourself.
What about, so let's talk turkey. The market right now is telling us that we've all done really well. I mean, you know, is it let's cash it all in and buy low again because it's so high right now? I know this is another tough question, but you are counseling men and women on making sure you put in consistently so that exponentially it builds and you go through the highs and the lows together.
Right. Yeah, I can't speak specifically to each individual. That would
Yep.
be a case by case basis.
Sure.
So I can't really give investment advice on this call in any kind of ways. And I do have to say that.
Okay, fair enough. Okay, but I know people are excited right now about what what things look like, and we just are laymen's and don't know. And that's why I also believe in calling someone like you who walks me through my everyday and where I need to, and is it aligned with my goals? I think that's something that Nancy maybe hasn't mentioned yet, but each individual here has different goals. Are we looking to leave money to children? Are we looking to educate kids in the next 5 years? And we need a big chunk of money. Are we newly married and single and I would like to purchase a little home with my husband? You know, am I prepared? Right, Nancy? Isn't that fair to say?
Yes, it's all about preparedness. And listen, financial planning is not one and done. It's an ongoing process and it has to stay fluid. Why? Because we're humans. Things happen. We lose a job, we get married, we have a baby. Life events that could rock our boat if we kind of haven't really thought and planned for it.
Mm-hmm.
I will tell you one thing. The road to financial peace is best achieved with a plan. Even if that plan is not perfect, you have some kind of a backup and the money to support that backup should something happen to you.
Nancy, are you willing to share your information in the chat? There's a few people asking me privately, will I have Nancy's information?
Sure.
Yeah, and please make sure you keep us updated on your, you know, when you offer that Social Security class. I will share openly.
Yeah, I'm putting that together now because I've had a lot of requests for that, and it's such a confusing topic, and such an important one that people make the right decision regarding Social Security.
And I think that right now, because things have changed such a great deal in the marketplace, you know, in work, in our small businesses, that, you know, we're living a little bit tight in anxiety, but like what you just said, just some type of plan allows you to take a deep breath and be more clear and focused.
Yeah, and can I just comment on that?
Yes.
If you have disciplined yourself to live beneath your means on a regular basis, when something like this happens, I'm going to tell you, it's just not going to hurt as much because you've already denied yourself so that just for now, so you can have something for later. So if you have to dip into that pot, it's okay. This is what it's for. But it's building that discipline of saying, you know what, I really don't need that right now. I'm going to put this money away. And again, it hurts a lot less if you have that. Again, it's a muscle. It's just a muscle that you've been using.
And it's like working out, right? The more you work out, the more fit you get, and the awareness factor. So Nancy Curtin, I adore you. Thank you. If you would take a minute, throw your LinkedIn in the chat, which would be a way that people could get together on you. Or if you'd want me to find your LinkedIn, I can do that. Or whatever works for you, or I can share it later. But yeah, we would love to be able to say hello and keep in touch because you are absolutely amazing and we adore you. So guys, in the same vein that we're talking about Money Matters, I'm bringing it up because, you know, I'm now, as we're getting deeper and deeper into some unemployment timing, having people calling and starting to get panicky and, you know, AIM, I'm on TaskRabbit, I'm doing this and that. Whatever it takes for you to do right now, and I'm going to tell you that I am not exempt. When 2008 happened and we had the housing crisis, companies, men and women were losing their jobs, they were losing their homes. We had a very tough economic time. We all know that. I don't need to reiterate that. I did not have clients calling me to staff. Amy Cole, 40 something years old, put high heels on and went over to the Standard Hotel, the hip hotel in the meatpacking district, and waited tables. And I am proud of it. I think it's funny because once you wait tables in your life, you can always wait tables, and it's a people job. And let me tell you, my shift started at 9 p.m. We left the club at 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning because it was the hip club. Lindsay Lohan eating French fries, you know, blah, 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 that kind of place. But I needed a job. I needed income. And it felt like, okay, is this really happening to me? These women I'm waiting tables with are 22. They're adorable and they're looking good in the outfit. But of course, I became head waitress because I'm disciplined and I'm sophisticated and I put everybody on a strict budget. Not budget, but a strict, let's get this job done. Come on, guys, let's get out of here by 3, not 3:30. It's 3 o'clock. Anyway, but I think that it's important for us to realize that we have other things that we could be doing. You know, you could be doing whatever if right now you just need to be picking up little things, whether it's home health care or driving people to doctor's appointments with masks right now, something that brings up joy in your heart, possibly some income, right? We are not proud people. We are people that are doers and we are resilient and we are agile. And that's what people are hiring. And it kept me going. Okay, I will not lie. It also, I met a lot of fun people and I was on the pulse of the Standard Hotel when it was the place to be in the meatpacking. This is years ago, it's 2008 again. But that I share that just to share that because I also saw my finances and I said, listen, this year is going to either eat all my savings or this year is going to I'm going to try to bridge. I'm going to try to bridge. And Nancy, you helped me a great deal through all these times. So I owe you a big fat thank you as a beautiful, beautiful friend and a beautiful person and smart as a whip. So really, you understand the market and the men and women that I've turned on to you that are working with you are very happy with how it's rolling. So thank you so much. Yes, adaptability is totally important. Guys, I am going to ask Barry to put in the chat, Governor Cuomo, or Barry, why don't you share what's happening? Because it's a good thing to share with everybody today. We've been reading.
Hey, good morning, everybody. So, let me just put it in the chat. And, in the morning I wake up and I check LinkedIn, I check, a few different sites, and I came across this article about New York State partnering with a company called Coursera, where they're offering an abundance for free, totally for free, an abundance of online courses from technology to developing an app. If you go to the website, I just put the link in and you'll see there's an abundance of courses there. I texted it to my son and he was like totally wowed. So I know he'll probably take something up on the app development because he's definitely into that. So check it out. We're all about learning and staying relevant is really important, as Amy's always talking about. And I think this will help us. And I'm sure there's other classes in there as well for other topics. It's not just for business that we can take advantage of. So thanks for letting me share that, Amy.
Yeah, thanks. Thanks for sharing that. I appreciate it. Okay. And guys, and that we are here for you in the coaching. Okay. I am going to share my screen for a minute. We have Teresa Vitucci on the call. We've recently updated some website pictures, which is fun. She is a photographer and I'm going to have her speak another time on the importance of branding who you are in your photography. But if you want to reach out to Teresa for a minute, also say hello to her in the chat. I'm going to jump to our website for a reason. And that's to show you the other opportunities. If you want to learn more from us on a daily basis or be a part of our community in the coaching, we are offering, let's see, hold on, I got to figure this out. Don't go. Yep. So first, let's have fun and see my new cover page. This is Amy Cole, photographed by Teresa Vitucci. T, I love it. Thank you so much. I'm going to highlight you in a minute when I get off. Photography by Terry Diamond. For those of you that don't have or need to be updated in LinkedIn in a professional way, again, we're going to have a whole series on what your brand is out there, and Teresa will speak on the importance of your physical image making a difference. So I feel very fortunate. I think this captures who I am, and it's clean, and that's who I am also, but it's also on point and sophisticated. So keep in mind all those good things. For those of you that do or don't spend time at the website, there's places where we list our jobs, but I want to talk a little bit again about the coaching, which I do every week. Here is another picture photograph taken by Terry Diamond and with John Lee, who is on the call today as one of our dear friends who came and agreed to be a model for our career coaching. But why should your career coach be an executive recruiter? I am on the phone with men and women hiring on a daily basis, and I am not patting myself on the back, but I understand the importance of making sure that your professional profile is succinct and clear and concise. And lastly, if I don't present you with confidence, then how can you, why would people say, okay, I want to interview him or her? So the importance of all of this is that we get you to have that confidence so that you can spit out your divine gifts, right? Your divine gifts. What makes you different? How are you going to move the needle for that company? So we are offering 3 coaching platforms. Revamping your resume and your LinkedIn workshop is a one-on-one with me for 90 minutes. Job Search University is a place that I am going to highlight again today. Why? Because it is in depth finding a job today. It goes from networking to cover letters to using applicant tracking systems to understanding the online paradigm and how do you position yourself to compete in that. And so I do invite you to take a look at this in more depth. This is not a Terry Diamond. This is an old picture, just so you know, we haven't fixed that one yet, but we master your job search essentials in this class. We take the time to go through and help you. If you've nailed your professional profile, hats off, fabulous, then this is a place to come every other week and gain more insight on how to better your positioning, how to figure out ways and critical skills and communication tools in this time of online commitment, right? So we're going to take a look at how your resume and LinkedIn should look to stand out and get noticed with search engine optimization, planning your job search, right back to Nancy. If you fail to plan, then you might as well plan to fail with finances or this job search situation. So know that with a strategy, whether you're good or bad at it, we can work together, and with accountability every other week, you will be more on point. I don't think that Anthony's on the call today, but we have someone that has applied for 230 something jobs and ended up with only 2 interviews. That is spray bullet. It's applying for too many things that aren't applicable, and then or he's not speaking clearly to that audience that he's putting his resume to. We need to make this a very succinct, powerful branding professional profile so that the man or woman reading it very quickly, we might add, understands your relevance in the market and what you can do for their company. And at Job Search University, we do that. Talk about digital interviewing, talk about behavioral interview questions. How do you build out your networks and explore opportunities in and outside of your industries? Guys, career transitions are happening everywhere. So I want to invite you to join. You can go find out more. And you just click right through, and you'll be all set up. And you also have 21 hours of content and to go back in. If you had an interview tomorrow, let's say, you could quickly go back in and just look up how to interview. What's digital interviewing? What are behavioral interview questions? And on your own time, in your own world, take a look at that 24/7. You can have Amy Cole 24/7. Not that you want 24/7, but I'm just saying. All right, I'm going to stop sharing. So I'm just going to highlight Teresa Vitucci for 1 second. I know T, you're casual. You didn't get called on today. Oh, wait, maybe we don't have T right now. T, oh, maybe she had to leave. Oh, there you are, T. I love her.
Hi, you guys can hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. So tell us why you have your mask on at home, just because it is funny every Wednesday, although we love it.
We have an amazing woman here, Sharon, who helps clean the house. So we can't do without her.
Okay.
And we're both masked.
Well, tell us a little bit about brand and refresh when it comes. I mean, you have always been a dear friend and done all of my photography. You photographed our big event called Get Your Professional Edge On with 200 people, and that, now it's 2 Augusts ago. But this is your gift to people. How do you tell me a little bit what you feel branding in images does for people?
It's similar to what you're talking about in being authentic self and having a purpose. It's your personality. It's your personality that needs to come through, because people aren't going to really get to speak to you. The first thing they're going to see or of you is a photograph usually. I mean, whether it's on LinkedIn, whether it's on social media, obviously they can read about you, but people get a knee-jerk reaction immediately, don't you? You see a photograph, you see a color, you see an image. It stirs something up. You want people to feel good about themselves. So if you're feeling good about yourself, people will react with feeling good about themselves.
Yeah. It's there's statistics out there. 70, okay. Help me out. Profiles with pictures get 77% more views than profiles without pictures. And honestly, Barry and I are doing a great deal of business development using LinkedIn. He goes, I can't believe how many people don't have pictures.
Wow.
And you're right, it elicits a response. Now, I also don't like the unconscious bias, which we tend to gravitate to people that look a little bit like us or people that we want to look like.
Yeah. Well, hence the reason dogs look like their owners, or owners look like their dogs, right? But we're not going to go, I don't know if we'll be able to fix that situation.
No, but the branding piece. So your brand and refresh business, you've gotten involved and you go into corporations and help also their companies become more branded of taking photographs.
Yeah, people need an image of themselves. People want to know what you look like if they're going to work with you, if they're interviewing you. The idea of presenting yourself, that's what you're about doing. If you're looking for a job, you're presenting yourself. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to work with you that you present yourself in the most flattering way. That's authentic to you.
Yeah. Well, you made me feel very comfortable. And I get a little bit, I know you've always said, like, you're so open, and yet you get nervous in front of the camera. You made it so much.
The camera is intimidating no matter who you are, unless you really are a professional actress or actor or model. I'm intimidated in front of the camera. That's why I'm behind the camera.
Well, honestly, thank you. Please put Brandon Refresh in the chat so we can have it. And also, I just want to share that Teresa's worked with Jean-Lee and I on site, and we were very COVID conscious. Thank you, T, for that.
You're welcome. Yeah. And I always have my mask on the whole time, and I'm very conscious of maneuvering around everything.
Yeah, I know you really have and honestly, that did make people feel comfortable, and it is important right now. Thank you. Guys, I want to just say hello to some people and see what's going on in the world of life. Denise, I see that I haven't seen you in a while. You came to Amy Cole Connect live in New York City. If you remember, now it's 2 or 3 years ago.
Yes, I remember. It's been a while.
How are you? Tell me what's going on in your world.
I'm looking for work. It's been a while. I was working remote when COVID hit, and then of course things got, they started cutting back and laying off. Mm-hmm. So I've been at home searching for work. But in the interim, I just decided, okay, I'm going to try to do some things on my own. So I've been trying to, do some sewing. I started doing little projects, nurses' surgical mask and nurses' hats and pet coats and all that kind of stuff. So I've been doing that, and I'm just trying to stretch it out and try to make it through. But I've had a couple of interviews, not that many, but I have gone on interviews. And the funny thing is, so far I haven't had any virtual interviews. They've been in-person interviews, which I feel comfortable doing that more than a virtual thing. Right. So, I'm hoping that something comes up soon, because this is taking a while, and now I'm getting nervous. I'm getting anxious. I'm getting, like, how long will my finances hold out? How long, can I stay out of the job market and still fit in?
Did you have any takeaways from Nancy today? Did anything resonate for you?
Yeah. Prepare and plan and make sure you have some kind of a cushion. Mm-hmm. That's the best way to get through it. Thank goodness I have some of that, but it dwindles away over time. Yeah. And it's hard to put it back in so you have it at this point, but with what's going on right now.
Well, I think that's a
But,
place, and I think that's where Nancy says, love yourself a little bit. Right now, if you can't, you can't, but get back on it when you can. And,
Right.
I want to, thank you for being so honest about it. This is exactly where when I have 10 and 15 people, that I speak to daily, Lisa and I and Barry speak to daily, that's what's happening right now. And I think that with also the surge and the spikes, I think it's an anxiety piece that we're
Yeah.
feeling.
Yeah.
And it's really nice of us if we can just live in that gratitude place that everything that's happening right now will come to an end. There is a plan, there is a purpose, and that bigger things are around the corner. I mean, I so live in that space. I so believe that all of us will land on our feet as long as we're proactive, as long as we take a look at maybe this link that Barry put in. I haven't had a time, actually, he brought it up this morning. Otherwise, I would have shared more. But, so it's very important that, take a look. What are they offering? What's different? What would a designer do in this new paradigm?
Right. Right.
That's really what I want everyone to feel comfortable with. So
Yeah.
thank you for sharing and being honest. Good to see your face. You always look
Thank
gorgeous and
you.
happy and
You
positive.
too.
I love it. I love it.
Great. It's always great to hear from you. So uplifting.
Good. Well, that's good. I'm glad. That's I hope we can be. So that's important. Elena
Yeah.
Gamelis, I haven't said hello in a minute. How are you? Are you muted?
I got a notification to unmute myself. So
Perfect. See the plant, you got to be grateful. Look at that money tree.
I noticed you had the same plant when you mentioned plants earlier.
Okay, so guess what? I'm going to tell you, you need to channel. I'm not big into channeling because God's bigger than that. But this is a God gift. This plant continues to grow. Even though my finances aren't growing, my money tree is. So I know it's coming. So
That's
keep
awesome.
that money, lift it up every day. Raise the roof for the money tree. How are you doing? What's happening?
I'm doing well. I still have just kind of been exploring career transitions, but one good piece of news is that this morning, so I'm pursuing two paths. One is kind of marketing for companies that align more to my core values and my interests.
Good.
But the other one is I got my personal training certification, and I want to start launching something virtually. And so I had my first two consultations this morning, or assessments, I should say.
Good for you.
But
See,
still.
thank you. Oh, I love it when we call on the right people. Everybody's the right person. Everyone's story is so impactful. But, that's exactly what we're talking about. I have an executive, $1 million a year executive that had a passion for running, lost his job. It's all good. And now he's 65 and he looks 10. Oh my gosh, this guy is fit as a fiddle. And he is running with a mask in Central Park. He's created, and he goes, Amy, of course it's slow. He said, but wouldn't I love to retire and this be my second act? And he's excited, and it's what he does anyway. He is that guy that is just fit always. Wonderful. Okay. And are you thinking of it as a supplement? Or are you thinking of it maybe it could be a new thing completely?
I'm still doing kind of both of these opportunities and seeing how everything pans out. It would be awesome to have it be a full-time thing, but I'm just kind of seeing how it pans out and go from there. But I also don't want to be in the position I was before, being laid off and then only having one source of income. So I love the idea of multiple revenue streams.
Well, multiple revenue streams are smart. We know that from Cash Flow Quadrant and, Robert Kiyosaki and everybody else. You're absolutely right. But you are a marketer. So if there's anything that you might want to do right now, and I'm not telling you what to do, and, you're a smart woman, is take this as though someone just hired you to market that business.
I know. No,
don't say I know, do it. Get the marketing plan going, because if there's a hole in my heart in my business, I will tell you right now that I'm not the best marketer. Now we need to ask, and we're going to close up here, but I'm so just put that in your nugget and think about that. Get your marketing plan for that, what you're calling a little hobby, because you 2 consultations can be 4 every day. So that would be great. All right, guys, I want to thank you, everybody, for coming. Happy Thanksgiving and all that jazz. Please know that we are here for you, even though it's turkey. I think that this is really, really, really a good place for all of us to be and to learn and to grow. Continue to believe in who you are, what you've got. Trust that gut. Put that new brand out there. I'm just excited about my picture on the cover. I love that green picture, T. And I really appreciate Nancy Curtin for, number one, at a brunch, 20 years ago, literally saying, throw 10 bucks in the bin, Amy, throw 10 bucks in the bin. And, you know, it has definitely made a difference in my finances through all of the ups and downs of entrepreneurship. So big fat love, happy turkey. And we will see you again. I believe it's December 2nd. Okay. All right. Ciao, ciao, everybody. Have a great Thanksgiving.